You sit in a group and laugh at the right moments, but inside you feel trapped behind invisible glass, almost unreal. Your mind is loud, full of replies and stories, but your mouth feels zipped, like sound cannot cross the gap. You watch everyone talking while you quietly fall apart inside, breaking into thoughts you never actually say out loud. On the way home, you replay the whole night, circling every moment where you stayed quiet and hated yourself for it.
In bed, you whisper perfect replies in your mind, and each unsaid sentence feels like a tiny stone on your chest.
You type out everything you feel, then delete it, and send a tiny safe message that hides almost all of you. In your head, one harsh word becomes a whole crowd, shouting that you are too much and somehow invisible at the same time. It feels like your own brain is a cage, and every time you move towards speaking, it shakes the bars and warns you. Here is the strange part. That cage is also a blanket, because your silence is your nervous system protecting you from old danger.
There is the you inside, quick and funny and deep, and the you outside, quiet and guarded, almost like two different people.
Maybe you learned young that your voice did not matter, that adults talked over you, so your body trained itself to disappear.
Or maybe you tried to speak and someone laughed, and your brain quietly promised never to risk that pain again in public.
Years later, you do not just remember the moments. You start wearing them as labels, as if silence means something is wrong with you. This is where the silent loneliness begins, feeling separate in the middle of people, heart sealed away where no one can reach it. You stand between opposite urges, wanting to leave, wanting to belong, wanting to talk, wanting to disappear, all at the same time. In groups, your brain quietly flips from safe to threat, even when nobody is attacking you, and your voice shuts down to cope.
You start wondering why you are like this, and the truth is deeper than just shy. Your body, history, and wiring all play a part. You are not broken. Your nervous system has lived in survival mode for years, and it can slowly learn that some rooms are safe. From a psychology view, your quiet in groups often comes from three places at once: your body, your thoughts, and your past. Your body goes first, with tight chest, shallow breath, maybe shaky hands, quietly telling you that groups feel like a possible threat.
Then the thoughts rush in. What if? Stories about judgment and rejection, and each one wraps a little tighter around your voice. Then the thoughts rush in. What if? Stories about judgment and rejection, and each one wraps a little tighter around your voice.
Behind that, your past holds moments when you felt unseen or mocked, and your brain learned that staying small might keep you safe.
If you grew up around loud conflict, you may have become the quiet one who caused no trouble, and that role followed you into adulthood. You might also be a people pleaser, scanning faces for approval, and silence feels safer than risking someone's disappointment or anger.
Part of you fears people leaving if they see the real you, and another part fears losing yourself if you get too close.
You may also be more introverted by temperament, which simply means your energy drains faster in groups and you recharge alone.
Your social battery runs out quickly, and when you are tired, quiet is not avoidance. It is your system asking for protection.
Psychologically, the danger is that you start seeing your whole self as the problem, instead of noticing these patterns as coping strategies. In group moments, your brain runs a loop. The group triggers a harsh thought. That thought creates anxiety, and you fall into silence.
This is called self-focused attention, when you study every move you make, while forgetting that most people are busy worrying about themselves.
If you're feeling depressed, silence can come from numbness, when the brain whispers, "Why bother?" and tells you no one really wants you here. An attachment wound, like feeling unsafe or unloved growing up, can make closeness feel risky, so your quiet heart hides to protect itself. Perfectionism turns every sentence into a test, and your mind decides it is safer to say nothing than to say something imperfect. Speaking in groups can feel like walking a rope between rejection and embarrassment, and you forget there is a net of self-compassion below you. You might cancel plans, then watch others' lives through a screen, feeling left out and strangely safer at the same time.
Therapy often starts by treating your quiet as a signal, not a flaw, and carefully tracing where in your story it began. A simple first tool is your breath. Slowing it down tells your nervous system that this moment is not the same as old danger.
You practice noticing when your body tenses, naming the fear gently, and then choosing one tiny action instead of total shutdown. You start to question the thought, asking, is it true they all hate me? Or is my brain just trying to keep me safe again? Instead of forcing yourself to be outgoing, you set softer goals, like adding one sentence more than you normally would.
You look for the other quiet one in the room and practice connection there first, where the risk feels a little lighter.
Having a few gentle questions ready can help, so when your mind goes blank, your hand already knows what card to play.
With safer people, you experiment by sharing one more honest thing than usual, letting a small beam of your inner world escape the jar.
You start planning your energy, giving yourself recovery days without shame, so social time hurts less and drains you less deeply. Healing does not mean becoming loud. It means you no longer have to hide everything, only choosing to share when it feels right. It can help to write down when you go quiet and what was happening, slowly seeing patterns instead of just random self-blame. You remind yourself that being quiet is not a crime, and that you still deserve to be included and understood exactly as you are. When you treat your loneliness with tenderness instead of judgment, the heaviness can soften, turning pain into a signal that you want more connection. If the weight feels too much to carry alone, working with a therapist can give you a safe place to practice using your voice. A tiny trick is to give yourself 5 seconds to speak before your fear wins, just enough time to slip past the panic. You will not change overnight, but each small risk you take becomes a new memory that gently rewrites what your brain expects from groups. You may always speak less than others, but your words can land deeply, because they come from a place of real thought and feeling. Slowly, you start seeing your quiet traits as strengths, like sensitivity and observation, rather than proof that you are defective. You learn to choose rooms and people who feel safe enough, instead of forcing yourself into spaces that drain and scare you. Your heart remembers that connection is not only performed in big groups, it can grow quietly in small, honest moments with a few people. With awareness, you gain choice, and with choice, you gain a new kind of self-respect that does not depend on being the loudest. In the same kind of group that once froze you, you now find yourself speaking a little, and noticing that the world does not end. The invisible box around you may not vanish fully, but it loosens, and you realize you can step through it when you choose. You are not the only quiet one. Many people carry this silent loneliness, and you deserve at least one person who really sees you. If this feels like your story, remember, you're not broken, just learning safety. Share it if someone else might need it.